Hello, and welcome to my guide on how to play like the highest mastery points Pantheon in the world. This player is known as FackPantheonNerf. He's Plat 3 and he plays on EUS. This player is very good for getting a lead on his opponent and pushing that lead further. You need to be ahead on Pantheon, as Pantheon falls off really hard late game. In the lane phase, this player always pokes with Q every time it's off cooldown, without a doubt. This is the way to get the before you hit your level power spike. This is the way to get it ready for that all in and to get that lead on your opponent. The best way to use Corrupting Pot is to drink it as you're trading because it does additional burn damage. Make sure to play around your level power spikes. For example, the 3rd to 4th level. Because with Ignite, all-ins will mostly end with a kill. Pantheon relies really hard on having all of his abilities, as he only has really 3 combat abilities because his ult is really just a global ult. He really relies hard on them free abilities. So if you don't have them, he can't really do much without them. You should never all in without all of his abilities. In team fighting, look to start fights with ulti when ahead. Make sure to look for picks with ulti. Don't ult on 5 people because you will die unless you have GA and your team's really close and can follow up. Look to ult on 1 to 3 people. This will allow your team to follow up. And if 2 people on their team are at base and you get 3 people, that's an easy Baron, that's an easy Elder Dragon, that's an easy Infernal Drake. It's just so easy to get objectives after getting a large pick. My tips to play like this player is to make sure you auto attack animation cancel with all abilities to get maximum damage. This is not just to play like that player, this is pretty much how to play most champs in this League of Legends, because this is how you get maximum damage. On screen I will show you how this player does it. You basically auto attack Q, auto attack W, auto attack E. This will give you the maximum damage output you can do on this champion. Make sure to use your Pantheon ult every time it's off cooldown. This will allow you and your team to get leads. Leads are really important on League of Legends because it will make the game easier. And it's really important you don't throw your leads also, I might as well put in there. The way to reduce throwing a lead is to make sure you don't do risky plays. There's no need to do risky plays when you're ahead. With this player, you can see, with most of his wins, it's because he ended the game before it passed 30 minutes. Because Pantheon really struggles to make an impact later in the game. So you want to try and make picks with your ulti and get objectives like Baron and end the game faster by taking towers and just getting a really huge lead so the enemy team can't do much and you'll win the game. Next, I'll be moving on to the build, masteries, and skill order and items. For his standard rune page is 9 attack damage marks, 9 scaling health seals, 9 magic resist blues, and 3 attack damage quintessences. You can also run armor yellows. You would only run armor pen marks if you're against someone who's going to build a lot of armor. And you would only run armor yellows if you're really worried that you're not going to be able to survive the laner phase. Maybe you're against Riven, maybe you're against someone who just does a lot of AD damage. His most common build at the moment is going Serrated Dirk into Ghost Blade, into defensive boots like Merc Treads or Ninja Tabbies, into Headstrinker if he's against someone who does AP damage, or just someone in general on their team that does AP damage. He'll be able to Headstrinker. He won't upgrade the Headstrinker straight away. He'll just wait until about the 34th minute mark. Later in the game where he might need more of that shield versus that person because you're team fighting against them. He also will build Black Cleaver, and after he builds these offensive items, he will begin to build defensively. With the Banshee's Veil or Randon's Omen, or just anything that will allow him to survive in team fights. GA is really good for engaging. If you're going to be engaging with your ulti a lot and your team's not doing it for you, then building GA will be really handy because you can continue fighting after you die. Other than that, this is his standard build. He does not only build, he does stray away from this build. Sometimes this is just an example. So Don't just stick to this build only. If you feel like you need more tanky stats early, don't be afraid to stray away from this example build. For his summoners, he always takes Flash Ignite. This is really handy for killing your opponent and getting that early lead. He really needs this lead to make a big impact on the game. For masteries, he goes 18 and 12, 0. He's been going recently Deathfire's Touch, which my opinion on it is he wants to poke his opponent down really hard early game so he can get that nice all in. He also goes kind of an assassin, he goes for the assassination point in the 12 and cunning. In this mastery page, he goes for a penetration build with Deathfire's Touch to burn his opponent down early and get them nice all-ins and get the kills early to enforce a lead on his opponent. He goes a very standard skill order, going Q, W, Q, and then E, and max in Q, and then max in E, and then max in W. Prioritizing ult when he can put a point in it. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to check out my other videos. I will be making more guides like this, similar to this one. Stay tuned for that. The inspiration for this video and the following videos is going to be similar to this one, is low class and low hounds. Make sure to check them out. They did influence and inspire me to make this sort of video.